this is quite tricky, but I have seen them come up. They need doing. Don't worry, I will give you a lot of practice time after this to get used to it. Again, a new topic's not easy, but I'm just going to go through what you need at the start. So, if log base 3 5 equals p and log base 3 8 equals q, write these in terms of p and q. So log base 3 40, log base 3 25, and log base 3 64 over 125. Now, just explaining it very quickly, log base 3 5, I mean, that's the power you need to raise 3 to in order to get 5. So it's not a nice number. I think 3 to the power 1 is 3, and 3 to the power 2 is 9, right? So 5 is in between 3 and 9, so p's some kind of number in between 1 and 2, because the power you raise 3 to get 5 is bigger than 1 and it's smaller than 2. So p is I would imagine a nasty irrational number between 1 and 2. Log base 3 8, again the same thing. 3 squared is 9, and 3 to the power 1 is 3, so 8's closer to 9 than 3, but it's still between there, so it's probably 1 point something closer to 2 than 1, but again not a nice number, so we're calling them p and q, which makes them easy to work with. So what we need to do is wrestle around with these and try and get them to look like this. So we're looking to turn this into something where we have a log base 3 5 or a multiple of a log base 3 5, or we have a log base 3 8 or a multiple of a log base 3 8. So we're looking to use our log laws and see what we can get to. So if we start with part A, log base 3 of 40, well, p is log base 3 5 and q is log base 3 of 8. So you may notice that 40 is 5 times 8. So if we just start there, so let's call it log base 3 of 5 times 8. If you look at that, then we can use our first log law, which says log base a xy equals log base a x plus log base a of y, right? That's the first law. So here we have log base a being 3 of xy, well x is 5 and y is 8. So this is going to be log base 3 5 plus log base 3 8, which is very handy because look, one of them is p and one of them is q. So using first law of logs, using the first law of logs, this is log base 3 5 plus log base 3 of 8. So log base 3 5 we've been told is p, so this is p. And log base 3 is 8. Sorry, log base 3 of 8 is q. And we're just adding them together. And that's the answer, p plus q. Part B. So we have log base 3 of 25. Log 3 of 25. So is it any use? Can we factorize again potentially? So we could say, well, this is log base 3 of 5 times 5 using the same approach, which now you can tackle it either way. To be fair, you could say, well, that's 5 squared and we could use the power, or well, we could use the first law again and we could say, well, this is log base 3 5 plus log base 3 5 again. So given that I think it's important that you use the power law as well, I'm going to go down the power route. So I'm going to say, well, this is log base 3 of 5 squared. Now using the third law, that says log base a over x to the n equals n log base a x. So log base 3 of 5 squared is going to be 2 log base 3 5 equals 2 log base 3 5. Well, log base 3 5 we said was p, so this is 2p. 2p, because there's no q's in that one. Part C. So here we have log base 3 64 over 125. So the fact that it's a division probably means we're going to use the second law of logs, I would guess. So I'll probably just write this down. So that is log base a of x over y equals log base ax minus log base a of y. So here could be our x and here could be our y, and then we might have to do something else, but it's not a bad start. So we could say, well, this is equal to log base 3 of 64 minus log base 3 of 125. Now, how are we going to turn these into 5s and 8s? Well, hopefully you notice that 64 is a power of 8 and 125 is a power of 5. So it's very, very useful to know your cube numbers or your square numbers. So this is log base 3 of, well, 64 is 8 squared minus log base 3 of, this is 5 cubed. So now if we go back to our third law of logs, that means we can move the powers to the front. So that would say equals 2 log base 3 of 8 minus 3 log base 3 of 5. Well, so log base 3 of 8 was our q, this is q, or 2q, and log base 3 of 5 was p, so this must be 3p. So this is going to be 2q minus 3p. 2q minus 3p. So it's a bit tricky, but it's good reinforcement of the laws, if nothing else.